Dallas has signed one free agent from another team to an NFL deal, just one. That would be linebacker Eric Kendricks. Adam Schefter had a chance to speak with their head coach Mike McCarthy at the owners' meetings earlier today.
Mike, what's it been like for you to sit back this offseason and watch the New York Giants add players, the Washington Commanders add players, and the Philadelphia Eagles add players?
Well, I have a lot of experience in not being active in veteran free agency, so I guess it doesn't bother me as much. But no, I think it's like anything, and it really is. I mean, you're working on your roster 365 days a year, and that's always been a reality. And I think as a coach, I've really always focused on the guys I know are going to be there in the off-season program, because you really do have a chance to improve as a football team. I'm a big believer in a second and third year jump. We have some young players. We got some guys coming back off of IR that were young players that we're excited about. So we are definitely improving. We're just not part of the free agent market right now.
So is that what Cowboys fans can hang their hat on, the fact that there are guys coming back that are going to be getting better, because people keep waiting for the Cowboys to make moves?
Well, I think that, and also there's a lot left. So you'll probably have a market right before the draft or post-draft, and then you got your June 1st market, and obviously we'll have another draft class. So I have great confidence in our roster.
Where is everything with Dak right now? Jerry's talked about this team going as far as Dak will take him. Dak restructured his contract, but it doesn't seem like there's been a lot of progress for an extension. Where is he at as we get ready for another season for the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, Dak is he's a machine. He's so diligent in his off-season prep. So he's already started his process. But yeah, he's just getting ready to perform and connect with the young players. I think it's just the landscape of how we have to train in the off season. It's important for your quarterback to have those private workouts and things like that. So that's really where his mind is. It's just really how can we improve in year two of our offense. And at the end of the day, we need to be a better complementary football team. When the defense isn't going well, the offense needs to pick up for them, and no difference when the offense isn't going well, the defense has to pick up for them. And, I think if you look at our last game, there wasn't a whole lot of complementary football going on.
Do you feel any added pressure going into the last
I
year
don't,
of your
because I think as a coach, you're really, every year is this. It's the same. Let's be honest. And that's the way it's always been. This is personally, I've been in this spot. This will be the third time. And it's worked out, very well for me. So I'm not really concerned about it.
Right, and he joins us now from Orlando, Adam Schefter, along with Mina Kimes, who's back. So, Schefter, he didn't really, McCarthy, talk about Dak's contract, more talked about the work he was putting in here in the offseason. So what can you tell us? Can you shed any light on where things stand with that?
Well, Hen, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys and Dak have made a whole lot of progress towards the type of extension that many people have anticipated. Yes, they did restructure Dak's contract to free up some cap space, but in terms of the long-term deal that potentially could get done at some point in time, no, that does not appear to be much, if any, closer right now. And so that would leave, if there's no deal done, Dak Prescott headed into the last year of his contract, Mike McCarthy headed into the last year of his contract, and it almost feels like the Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is challenging them as if their backs are against the wall to say, I want to see you what happens when you are in the last year, when the pressure's on. And before they commit to anything in terms of extensions, I think the Cowboys want these particular key individuals to this organization to prove it this season.
Is it possible there could be even more drama and more pressure there in Dallas? I don't know, but listen, it looks like that could even ramp up beyond what it usually is. And Mina, he doesn't seem worried, Mike McCarthy, about the lack of activity during the free agency period. What do you think is their most pressing need at this point?
It's the same need that I mentioned for every other team in the NFC East, and that's the offensive line. With Tyron Smith moving on, Tyler Biadasz. Yes, Tyler Smith, who they drafted not that long ago, can play left tackle. But we're talking about a major transition and a line that has really been the strength of this Cowboys team for years. They've been very good at drafting and developing players, but because of the lack of activity in free agency, I think there's a lot of pressure to hit on a lineman in the draft. Similarly, I would say, they need more help at wide receiver. In addition, obviously, Michael Gallup's gone. They still got CeeDee Lamb, who's fantastic, and they're going to have to pay. But you saw at times during games, Brandon Cooks wasn't quite the secondary option that they had hoped for. So you hear Jerry Jones talk about Dak, and there's pressure on him to perform and earn that next contract. But candidly, I'm not sure they're putting Dak in a great position this year to perform. And if I was a Cowboys fan, I'd be questioning some of the decisions they've made.
Especially without a running back, Mina. I mean, without a solid running game to help Dak Prescott. Tony Pollard's gone. We kept waiting for a move there. What did McCarthy tell you, Adam, about their plans in that regard?
Well, Hannah, you're talking about running back. Mina's talking about offensive line and wide receivers. So there's some major questions about some major positions. And I asked Mike about the running back position, and he pointed out the fact that he thought it was big that last week that this team re-signed Rico Dowdle. And right now that seems to be where this team is putting its hopes. Now, he did say that obviously they still could participate in free agency later, and there are other running backs out there, Dalvin Cook, J.K. Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There are some running backs that still are on the street right now looking for work, and I don't think it would be a surprise if one of them wound up in Dallas. But you're looking at a draft that's not considered deep at the running back position. So whether they choose to get more help through free agency or the draft, it's going to be limited to a certain extent. So it sounds like they're going to count on Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn and some of the players on their roster to take that next big step in this upcoming season, where Dak and Mike McCarthy could very well be going into the last years of their deals.